Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Reclaiming Your Life. I am your host, Kimara.
This podcast is designed to help women overcome their insecurities, self-doubt, and fears within themselves to pursue their dreams by telling her own life experiences. Here's your host, Kimara.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Happy Friday. Boy, you are in a treat today because I have something to share with you guys, because this is going to help somebody. It's going to bless somebody because, I'm going to just get right into it because this is for somebody. Somebody needs to hear this. And I was having a conversation today with a friend, with my best friend. And in the conversation, we were talking about being obedient. We were talking about the desires of our heart. We was talking about all the good stuff. And what had came to me is that you have to be obedient to your purpose. You have to be obedient to your purpose. But in addition to that, we also have to understand the process. We have to understand the process. I am speaking to myself because most of the times we get in these situations and circumstances, which called life, and we get so caught up with what's going on because we have all these distractions, right? Which is also called life. And it's part of being tested in life is what I call it, these distractions. But we get so caught up, and we get so caught up because we are so programmed to have a plan set up a certain way. And the reason why we fail most of the times is because we are not trusting the process, nor are we understanding the process and the plans that God has for us. So we get upset when we plan something out and it don't follow through the way that we planned it. But we have to trust God and the plans He has for us. I'm going to say that again. We have to trust God and the plans He has for us. Because at the end of the day, and I said this before in one of my lives, it's not our plans, it's God's plans. We have to really understand that what we're going through in life is not our plans, it's God's plans. He's going to do things on His time. It's His timing. You hear people say it's God's time. The divine timing is His time. It's His plan, number one, and it's going to happen on His time. Let me say it again. It's His plan, and it's going to happen on His time. So we have to understand that, because I feel if we can condition our mind to understand that it's His plan and His timing, we will be so much better, because we wouldn't let these little distractions, these little situations, these little mishaps come into our life and kind of interrupt us to try to shake us up, because that's all it should do really, is just to shake us up, but not get us off our game and what God has planned for us. I'm speaking to myself because you guys are not alone. Because there's certain things that I have to understand that's going on in my life that it's going to come to pass. And we also have to remember that we have to understand, right? The things that we decree and declare, saying affirmations, praying for, asking God for, putting in the atmosphere, however you want to say it, because it's all the same. We have to understand that it's going to come to pass. But again, it's going to come on God's time. And no matter what you ask for, you would get it. No matter if it takes you 5 times or 5 years to get it, because you want to know why it will take you 5 times and 5 years versus taking you 1 time or 1 year or 1 month, is because you're not trusting the process. And you're not allowing God's plans to come to fruition. Let me say that again. You are not trusting the process so that you can let God's plans come to fruition. The more that we trust his plans, the more that we let go and let God, is the more that we will be able to see things turn around in our lives. We get so caught up when we get a shut off notice. Oh my God, how am I going to pay this? Whatever. God already foreseen that. And he's going to take care of you like he did before when you got that last shut off notice. God going to take care of you even though you lost that job for the fourth time, right? He's still going to take care of you in the midst of it all. But through that process, right? You lost your job for the fourth time. What are you doing during that time? What is it that God is calling you to do that you keep running away from? Because God will force you out of a situation, especially when you're comfortable. He will force you out of a predicament, a situation that you're comfortable in, because you're not supposed to be there. And then we sit here and we get all caught up. Oh my God, I lost my job for the fourth time. But what is it that you're running from that he's telling you to do and you're not doing it? Because now he keep pushing you out so that you can do what he has called you to do. What are you running from? What are you running from? We have to understand what God is doing in our lives. We have to understand and we have to wait on God. I'm speaking to myself. We have to understand that everything is going to happen on God's timing. Yes, you may want to move. Yes, you may want to buy a house. But it's going to happen on God's timing. Because half of the time it is he waiting for us to get our stuff right. He waiting for us to get our mind right. Because even though you may ask for something and you put it out there in the atmosphere, you may pray about it, you may be decreeing, declaring, but if your mind ain't right for it, he ain't going to give it to you. Because you're not going to be open and willing to receive it the way that he's going to have it come to you. Did you catch that? He is not going to give it to you if your mind ain't right. If you ain't shift your mindset. Because the way that he's going to give it to you, if you were the person that you were 5 years ago from where you are now and you have what you have, if he would have gave it to you 5 years ago, you wouldn't even have known what to do with it because your mindset wasn't there. So it took you 5 years for you to change your mindset. So now he's going to give you the desires of your heart. Now he's going to give you what you prayed and asked him for. Now he's going to give you what you decreed and you declared, because now your mindset has shifted and now you're open your eyes to be able to see how he is trying to give it to you. Because the way that you think it should be, the way that you think he should give it to you, or it should be given to you, that's not how it's going to come to you 9 out of 10 times. So and that's another thing, when you're asking for these things and putting in an atmosphere, you have to be willing and open to receive it in any way, shape, or form that it comes to you. You can say that you want more money and you can be someone who is, I don't know, I'm going to say doing hair. Yes, I'm going to say that. You can be a hairdresser and you could say, God, I just need $300 or I want to make some extra money this week. And it could be that one day where you are booked to capacity and somebody texts you in the middle of your day and says, hey, do you have space to do whatever service it is? Now, you are booked to capacity. You are tired midday. Are you going to say, yes, I can take you at such and such time? Or are you going to pass it up and say, no, I can fit you in next week? But did you remember that you already asked God for some extra money? You asked him for extra $300 or whatever you asked him for. You asked him for some extra money. But now you passed up your chance because you were tired. So you passed it up to the next week. So you may have something that you had to pay by the end of that week. Now you couldn't pay it because you passed up on your opportunity that he was giving you to make that extra money. Do you see what I'm saying? We do this a lot where we ask for things and it comes to us. But we feel that it should come to us the way that we want it. So you being that hairdresser and you know you were tired that day, you probably felt that, oh, this person should have texted me. Oh, I wish this person would have texted me yesterday because I only did about 3 heads. But no, because sometimes he's going to push us out our comfort zone. He's going to push us out of our comfort zone to see how bad you want it. Go back and go listen to that episode. How bad do you want it? It goes back to say that. How bad do you want it? The things that you're asking for, you're decreeing and declaring about, how bad do you want it? What are you going to sacrifice to get that? I'm going to say that again. Sorry, it was a long pause because, man, what are you going to sacrifice to get the things that you're decreeing, you're asking for, you're praying for, that you're putting in the atmosphere? What are you going to sacrifice? Because that's another thing. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. And what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Again, you have to be obedient. You have to be able to trust God and trust the process. And where we get so caught up is the how and the when. We let the how and the when consume us and let it to be our problem. Because we're so focused on when is it going to come and how it's going to come. And then we try to think of things ourselves, how we can make it happen. So you could have been that same hairdresser where you said, oh, I need extra money. How I'm going to get extra money? Can I sell this shampoo and conditioner? Can I sell this as a set? Can I reach out to this client that I haven't seen in a while and ask her if she wants her hair done? Now, look, you could have gotten your own way as a hairdresser to try to figure out how you going to make that money. So it could be, it's so many things that we do that we miss our opportunities. Because the hairdresser in this scenario could have gotten her own way and tried to figure it out. And then she would have got frustrated because nobody's not buying the product. She's reaching out to previous old clients who don't want nothing, no kind of service, no nothing. And then she would have got discouraged and she would have said, Dag, God, I asked for the extra money and I didn't even get it. And by her doing that could have stopped from that person reaching out. It would have stopped it from that person to reach out to her to see if she can squeeze her in. I hope you guys were able to understand what I had just said, because I try to explain it the best that I can. Because we get in our own ways when we try to figure out our own problems and we try to create our own plans and how we going to be able to come up with some extra money in this scenario. How we gonna come up with extra money? What can I do to get an extra couple of dollars instead of waiting for it to come to us? Instead of waiting for God to give it to us how he wants to give it to us. And then we also have to be mindful to, are we open and willing to receive it? I'm not saying everything that comes to you, you're going to want to jump on it. Because yes, you have to use discernment. You have to know if this is what you need to do, depending on what the situation and circumstances is. But what I am trying to get at, to let you guys know and to encourage you, is that you have to understand the process. It's not your plans, it's God's plans, and it's his timing. You have to be willing to receive what it is that you're asking for and not get so hung up on the how and the when. Just know that it's going to come to pass. Whether it's something negative that you may be thinking about or positive, just know it's going to come to pass. But what are you doing in the meantime while you're waiting? What are you doing in the meantime while you are waiting? Because while you are waiting, you should also be preparing. You should be keeping yourself busy. You should just be trusting God during the process. Trusting God while you're waiting. Trusting God to know that He's going to give you the desires of your heart. Trust that He's going to give you the things that you've been decreeing and declaring, the things that you've been praying for, the things that's been on your heart, things that you ain't even asking for, but have just been on your heart because He knows. What are you doing while you're waiting? Don't get caught up on how and when, because now you're just going to prolong it even longer on when you're going to receive it and how you're going to receive it. Just know whatever you put out there and whatever you're asking for, it's going to come. It's not our job to worry about how and the when. Just think, God got me. He pulled me through this. He pulled me through that. He going to pull me through this. Or I asked for this. I asked for that. And He gave me this and He gave me that. So I know He's going to give me this. It's just when. Again, what are you doing while you're waiting? Are you trying to better yourself for what it is that you're asking for? A lot of times we're waiting for husbands. We're waiting to be married. And we say we want to be married. But what are you doing while you're waiting? What are you doing to prepare yourself to be someone's wife? Are you a clean person? Do you clean? Do you cook? Do you do laundry? Are you good with your finances? Are you good with having someone's back? Are you good? Are you a good supporter? Are you a good listener? Are you able to compromise? Have you been healed from that previous relationship? Have you let go some stuff from your past? Because, and I'm using this example because a lot of women want to be married, including myself. But what are you doing while you are waiting? I remember my pastor told me a couple of years ago, and she said that I need to prepare. So while you're waiting, you need to prepare for whatever you're asking for. So what are you doing while you're waiting? If you know you want to get a house, what are you doing while you're waiting? Are you fixing your credit? Because these are all things that you got to do to prepare for a house. Are you fixing your credit? Are you doing research to get the knowledge on what it is to buy a house or how to buy a house, what to look for, what not to look for, down payment assistance, if it's good or if it works for you or not work for you? Are you preparing? Are you doing your research? It's so much that goes into a house. Are you financially stable? Can you afford it? Which house should I get? A duplex, multifamily, a single family, a condo? What are you doing in the meantime? Because you need to prepare. Come on now. You have to prepare before you can get the things that you're asking for. Because know that you are going to get it. But what are you doing in the meantime while you're waiting? What are you doing in the meantime while you are waiting? Because sometimes you have to wait. You have to wait. And it's okay to wait. And don't get weary while you're waiting. Find something to do. Prepare yourself for that thing that you're asking God for. I just want to leave this with you today. And if you don't remember anything else that I said throughout this episode today, understand the process and know that it's not your plans and it's not your time. It's on God. It's God's plan and it's God's time. But that's all I wanted to share with you today, because it was on my heart to let this out. And I know it's going to bless somebody. I don't know who needed to hear this, but I pray that whoever needed to hear this, whoever needed to hear this will get the message. It's not your plans. It's not on your time. It's God's plans and it's God's time. The thing that you are asking him for, just prepare for it and just know that he is going to give it to you. Just know that he is going to give you whatever you're asking for, whatever you're putting out there, whatever you're decreeing, declaring. He is going to give it to you. You just have to be patient and you just have to wait a little bit and you have to prepare while you're waiting. But until next time, I will see y'all. I don't know. I do this every time, right? I will see y'all when I know I'm not going to see y'all. But until next time, you guys have a wonderful weekend and have a blessed rest of your day. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.